like I was telling you guys before, one of my biggest worries about this situation is that I will regret it. You get what I'm saying? So I'm very much taking my time, and you know, my agency is going to bat, and they know, they got my best interest in mind always, and it's exciting, but also a pretty stressful time for me. Just saying, we could get the same 29 million views a month if we had vids on YouTube. XQC's YouTube is growing as Twitch.
Since my homie told me about you.
Listen, man, I'll get there. I'll get there. All right, like I said, it's right around the corner, brother. Like, things are being done about it. I'm not just sitting on it,
Having a baby, or
what happens? We'll see how everything pans out. But right now, like I said, probably one of the biggest moments of my life, is happening somewhat soon. So, I'm a little nervous about everything. Good times. Good times. Good times to be had, boys. Don't worry.
Woo! That's some crazy stuff to think about. For those of you guys who don't know who is in that opening clip, that is Summit1G. He is probably one of the older streamers on the platform. Not in age, but just he's been with the platform since before Twitch was the premier platform to stream gaming on. He came over from another gaming streaming website, came over when that site died, and has been streaming on the platform ever since. And almost for as long as I've known him, has had somewhere between 10 to 20K viewers, for at least as long as I've been fully known of him, I guess you could say. That being said, I mean, as he said, there's just a lot to think about. And I know this is the question that's on everybody's mind. So today's video, I'm going to be telling you guys what number should you switch platforms for. Should be your signing number if you were to go from Twitch to Mixer, YouTube, Facebook, DLive, Caffeine, or anywhere else in between. My name is Shinobazu. I'm your stream sensei, and let's get into it. All right, now in this video, I'm going to be doing a breakdown of every single viewer category or streamer like size category that I think should be looking for deals, and at what level you should be looking for what deals, and kind of what you should be saying in order to get the deal that's right for you. And we're going to start with the smallest viewers and then work our way up all the way up to the icons. So even some of you big boys who aren't sure really what you should be getting, I'll give you a better idea of what you should really be considering when signing any of these deals. First up, we've got the under 50 category. So this is anybody who is streaming to 50 viewers or less. The truth of the matter is, to be completely honest, you probably won't be headhunted for a deal. You're not the level in which platforms are going to come looking for you. That being said, that doesn't necessarily mean you shouldn't look for a deal, but I'm going to give it a caveat. In my personal opinion, I feel like the under 50 category has the most potential for explosive growth on Twitch, and you can easily go from from 0 viewers to 100 viewers in 3 months on Twitch with the right team, the right planning, and just the right work ethic. It is 100% super viable to go from, again, under 50 viewers to 100 viewers on Twitch, in which case you'll be at a point where you're able to get a much better deal that I'll be talking about later. So in my personal opinion, I don't think you should go looking for a deal, and you're probably not going to have people come looking for you. That being said, there are 2 things you should know in this category. 1, if you are a unicorn, and for those of you guys who don't know what a unicorn is, I mean, you are someone who provides a very unique type of content that not only can very rarely be found on Twitch, but can just very rarely be found anywhere on the internet. For that, I mean, if you are someone like, say, something I'd recommend would be, say, someone like Game vs. Taylor from Las Vegas. These guys are a team of very experienced, award-winning cosplayers and gamers who do a very unique concept of having like one of their cosplayers race one of their speedrunner gamers, and to see who can finish first, basically who can finish the cosplay or finish the speedrun first. It's a very unique type of content that isn't found anywhere else, not just on Twitch, but anywhere else. Others examples of this would be, say, something like Critical Role, Kit Boga, if you've ever watched him with his telemarketing memes, or Sushi Dragon. These are the type of creators that they would stand out regardless of where they are. YouTube, Twitch, Mixer, Facebook, it doesn't matter. if you feel like you fall in this category and you provide something truly different than what anybody else is doing on any platform, then it may be worth you reaching out to these companies, telling them what you have to offer, telling them what makes you different, telling them why you're going to be basically the next Kit Boga, and pitching them to see if maybe they'll be willing to sign a deal to help have you be the next big thing on their platform. And in which case, we'll go over that a little bit later, exactly how much you should ask for. It's again going to be based on what you're doing, but we'll get to that a little bit later. Now, this being said, just because I don't necessarily think that people are going to be headhunting for you doesn't mean that you won't get an offer. Who knows who, what, when, where, or why, and I've heard of crazier things happen. If you're under 50 viewers, in my opinion, if you're at 50, somewhere between under 50 viewers, you're probably making somewhere between $250 a month, you know, off of subs and donations, which generally comes to about $2,500 a year, which is no small amount to scoff at. That's a new PC, that's a new mic, that's a brand new setup. That's a lot of money over the course of the year. And again, you are also giving up your opportunity to have that explosive growth over any set of the 90 days over the course of that year. So if you want my honest opinion, if you do get made an offer to sign with any platform, I would not take less than $1,000 a month for about $12K a year. Again, my reasoning for this is there's a great opportunity for you to have explosive growth over the course of the year. If they want you to sign exclusively to their platform, they're not only going to have to ask you to give up that, but they also need to be responsible and paying you enough to help you grow. So if they ask you, like, why do you need $1,000 or why do you think you're worth $1,000, you just tell them, like, hey, you came to me, you want me, this is my asking price. And for me personally, I would just say $400 of this is going so I can hire an editor so that I can put out content on other social media to grow my brand that way. $400 a month is going for me to help upgrade my stream, new equipment, new mic, new camera, etc. And then $200 a month is just my personal compensation for leaving the platform I'm on to going to where you are. If you want me, this is my price to make sure that I have enough money to actually securely continue my growth regardless of where I am. If you want to sponsor me to help me grow, then this is what I need to do that. And so that's why I say personally, that's what you should do. No less than $1,000 a month. Although, in my opinion, you could probably ask for more. And that's where I recommend you spend your money, getting an editor, upgrading your stream, making sure that if you spend that year, not only just growing on their platform, like for them and your audience on that platform, but growing yourself as a content creator and using that money to invest back into your stream to do more, so that regardless of how you do on their platform, a year later, you are 12 times the streamer you were when you left your platform in Twitch, when you come back, or however you decide to work it out after that. The next group of people we're going to be talking about are the streamers between 50 and 100 viewers. This is the I almost or I just made partner club. This is the I just barely got partnered or the I'm almost at partner club. Now, you, again, very unlikely that people are going to headhunt you, but it doesn't mean you won't have these conversations. You might just know somebody. However you end up having this conversation with any platform, if someone wants to have you be exclusively on their platform and you're almost partner on Twitch or you just made partner on Twitch, in my opinion, I will admit that the number should go up if you have already gotten your check mark. But if you haven't, I would still recommend that you're essentially the formula I would say I would use here is you would base it on how much you're making on Twitch, but I would say you're probably making somewhere between $250 and $1,000 a month on Twitch between subs and donos. And with that being said, I would basically ask them for 2.5 that a month for a full year. So if you're basically making $1,000 a month, I would ask them to basically do $30,000, being basically $2,500 a month or $30,000 for the entire year. Again, the reason for this is the 50 to 100 club is a pretty, decent club, but again, you can jump entire brackets within 30 to 90 days. So taking the growth that you have and leaving Twitch, again, they need to do something to compensate you for the lost growth that you're going to have and to be giving you enough extra money to be able to help you basically upgrade your stream. The 2 times the basically what you would have made is 1, to cover what you would have made, 2, give you something, compensate you for basically leaving where you are instead of just making it where you were. And the 0.5 is, again, is to have money to go towards upgrading your stream. So that's, again, $500 extra to hire an editor, hire, get some new equipment, etc., etc. But the goal there is to spend that money to help improve as a streamer, so that, again, at the end of that year, you're a better streamer, not just a bigger streamer than when you were when you left, but you're a better streamer than when you left. And again, that's what you should be looking for. And again, it's just double what you would have made. So it's some sort of compensation for actually leaving the platform, because that is extra work for you to rebuild, be on a new place, direct people to a new place. That's a lot of extra effort from you, as opposed to just doing what you were already doing where you were. So again, if you're between 50 to 100 viewers, I say you should be looking at $2,500 a month, or at least 30 grand a year before you take a look at any real deal on moving to a different platform. Again, that's just my opinion there, but that's why I say that you should do that from that point. Okay, the next group of streamers that we're going to be talking about are basically the streamers who are from 100 viewers to 500 viewers. And the reason why there's such a big gap here is because if you've been in this viewer range, you know that you could be playing your main game to 350 viewers, and then you could try Dark Souls one night and only pull like 125 viewers, if not, 75 viewers. That's just how Twitch is, especially when you're in this range. There's a lot of high fluctuation in what your viewership is. So this range, again, this is the full-time streamer range. This is, when you're basically making enough to make full-time income on Twitch. This range of streamer is like where this is, I guess you could say, this type of streamer we're working with right now. I would say your estimated revenue between 100 and 500 viewers is probably somewhere between $1,000 and $6,000 a month. And in my opinion, this is the point where we go from asking 2.5x what you'd make a month for a year to asking 3 times what you'd make a year, simply because it's at this point of viewership that ad revenue matters, and that the deals that you lose through bounty boards or brand deals or other sponsors, whether it's being sponsored by other companies or things like that. This is the type of streamer that like Logitech is looking for, Corsair is looking for, Elgato's looking for. These are the type of people they want to partner. And if you leave platforms, you could end up losing, not that you will lose some of those sponsorship opportunities simply for being on a different platform that's not the biggest at the current time. The only exception is you went from Twitch to YouTube. You might still be able to make it work synonymously, but if you go to any other platform, simply because of how much smaller those platforms are, you are going to lose opportunities, and you need to ask for more to be able to compensate for the opportunities that you'll be losing. So basically, my point here is if you're between 100 and 500 viewers, I wouldn't do it for less than 100K a year, just being completely honest. And realistically, in my opinion, you're probably going to be looking at somewhere closer to 200K is ideally what you'd want. So, I mean, I would pitch them 200K plus, but I wouldn't take less than 100K a year, simply because that's what you're worth at this point between being 100 and 500 viewers, and that's the potential you can make. And also, this full-time streamer bracket, this is the last bracket that you can move out of, in my opinion, within 90 days. The first 3 brackets before this are simply any 90 days can change where you are in this bracket, as long as you have a good stream habit, good work ethic, you're doing YouTube regularly, you're posting on Instagram, you're posting on Twitter, you're going to events, and as long as you're collabing and putting yourself out there, you can move from this bracket to the next bracket within 90 days. And again, you're giving that up. So now that you know you're giving that up, I would 100% say at this point you should be asking, again, no less than 100K a year to move from where you are comfortably to doing something else on another platform. All right, we're almost at the end here. Now we're at the, I'm kind of a big deal. This is the 500 viewers to 2,500 viewers. This bracket is very much like the previous one in a set of you have a game generally that you're known for that you kind of pop off on. And if you're playing that game, you could get like anywhere between 2,500, sometimes even 3,000 viewers, 1,500, 1,700. And then one day you might decide that you just want to play Mario Kart or play Fortnite, and you don't ever play Fortnite or something like that with the boys or Jackbox. And instead of being at your normal, 2K viewership, you're down at, I think a common one was, I normally play Fortnite, but I decided to play World of Warcraft. I'm at 2K when I play Fortnite. I was at 500 viewers when I played World of Warcraft. This is this like price range basically. The thing to know about this is if you're between 500 and 2,500 viewers, on any given Sunday, you are pretty much one of the top 1,000 streamers on Twitch in general, just period. In fact, more than likely when you're live, you're probably one of the top 100 broadcasts. At this point, if you're talking to any company about signing or leaving Twitch for anything, you're starting at 250K a year minimum. Like, that's just like, if they're not offering at least 250K a year, you're not interested in it, because you can make that much on Twitch as far as I'm concerned. And again, you can still move into higher brackets. It's not as common, but it's still possible to move into a higher bracket. And again, it is possible at this viewership range to make anywhere between 250 and 500K a year, depending on what, like, if you're really active and you're really working, it's very possible to pull that off between this viewership range. So if someone's asking you to leave, I wouldn't do it for any less than 250K a year. And more than likely, I'd say I'd look for something like 500K. This is, again, if you're on the upper end of this, like if you're in the 2,000 viewer range, simply because at the end of the day, you're asking them to give you like 500K or up to $1 million, because you're not Ninja yet, you know, you're not Courage yet, but you very well could be. And you're basically asking, like, if you want me to leave platforms, like, I could blow up any given day with my work, depending on my work ethic. If you're asking me to leave my platform, then you're paying me to help me become Ninja on your website instead of becoming Ninja on the website that I'm currently at. So you're looking, again, somewhere between 500K and $1 million. And if you're wondering how I got to this number, to put it simply really quick for you, if you say you're at 2,500 viewers, it's average for the streamers to be about 2x or 2.5x, whatever their viewer count is, whatever their average viewership is. That's usually 2 to 2.5 times is what their sub count is. Sometimes even way beyond that of gifted subs and donations and things like that. So realistically, if you're at 2,500 viewers, you're probably at 6K subs. If you're at 6K subs, you're easily, actually I can do this real quick. If you're at 6K subs, you're easily making what? $21,000 a month. $21,000 a month times 12, you're easily making 250 grand a year just off your sub revenue alone. That's not including sponsorships. That's not including ad revenue. That's not including brand deals or bounty boards. If they want you to leave your platform, then they need to cover all of this so that you're not worried about any of it, and that your goal is just to grow on their grow yourself and grow their platform. So again, if you're somewhere between the 500 range, you can maybe ask for like 200 to 500K. If you're at the 2,500 range, I'd say you should be asking between $500,000 to $1 million to basically say like, hey, if you want me to leave to stream on your platform, then you're paying for me to try to be the next Ninja on your platform instead of being it where I already am. And that's just the end of the story there. But as I said, you have one more line here, and then we'll go from there. And lastly, we have the icon territory. These are the streamers, if you're watching, that have 2,500 viewers or more. You are basically an icon, both on Twitch, more than likely in your own community, in the community of the game you play on, possibly in your local community. 2,500 people or more puts you in the top, not top 1% of Twitch, the top 0.0 or the actual 0.03% of streamers on the platform. Meaning you are the top 500 streamers on Twitch, and when you're live, you're more than likely one of the top 50 streamers that are live, if not higher. If you are at this point, one of the things you need to know is that, one, these are the streamers who will help another platform out the most by moving. You do more than any, because of the level of status you've achieved, you will probably do more for this platform than any other streamer who move it, like any other streamer before this can do for that platform, more than likely. That being said, you are also more than likely to be the streamer hurt most by leaving. That being said, knowing that you are the most beneficial to them, you will probably be hurt most by leaving. This is the point where I would say you shouldn't accept anything less than 10x of what you make a year. Now, I can't tell you how much you make a year. I know you have a general idea. If I had to guesstimate, just based off what I know, for a fact, if you're doing it right, you're making no less than 500K a year, even at 2,500 viewers. Like, I would say if you're at 2,500 viewers, you're probably making something like 200 to 400K if you're lazy, 500K plus if you know what you're doing, but easily making 500K a year if you know what you're doing and you're working for it. And if a platform wants you to leave, I wouldn't accept less than 5 million at this level. And I mean 5 million, I mean 5 million a year. Like, that is what should be your asking price, in my opinion, just based on, one, how much you can make on Twitch, the fact that it hurts you the most to leave the platform, and two, that they gain the most for you. I wouldn't say that you necessarily have nothing to gain from leaving, because there may be, certain deals or certain things that you want to do that are very beneficial to you. But at the end of the day, they get the most benefit out of this, and it hurts you the most. And unfortunately, they're not paying for a streamer at this point. They're paying for like the creme of the creme, the cream of the crop, the top streamers on the platform. They're paying to have an icon come from Twitch to their platform, because these are the streamers who can move viewers. These are the people they may not be as big as Ninja, but these are the people who are moving people, where people are going to follow them wherever they go. More than likely, they have presence on multiple platforms, even if the other presences aren't as large. And if this is you, I wouldn't move for less than 5 million a year. That's just my opinion. Just because, again, it's very risky for you. It could hurt you a lot. And honestly, again, like I said, they just have the most to gain for it. You have the most to lose. You should be charging them a premium for that fact. Out of 3 million broadcasters, you are the top 500, which puts you, like, again, at the 0.03%. You need to, like, basically just be like, hey, I'm a premium product. I'm one of a kind. If you want me, you got to pay a premium for it. Otherwise, like I said, I wouldn't leave for anything less. But that's just me and my opinion on that. But yeah, there you go. That's my thoughts for those of you guys who are smaller. As for a unicorn, who I did kind of go over sooner, if you think you can blow up, what I would do is I would ask for a deal. If you think like you're the next big thing, but knowing that you could blow up, I would make sure that in your deal to like, hey, I think that I will be doing X well, X well in a certain amount of time. I want every 6 months, or whether it be every 3 months or every 6 months, we will revisit it based on how well I'm doing. And if I'm doing 10x what I was, then I want to be able to renegotiate my deal to match 10x of that. And then so on and so forth, and to be able to do that every 3 to 6 months. Some people won't be for it. Get a lawyer, get an agency, they'll help you work it out. But if you think you can blow up with the extra funding and extra things behind it, you want to make a deal based on where you're at and based on your potential. But whenever you want to be able to renegotiate where you're at based when you blow up, it's one of the hardest things to do. I'm not going to lie, but it's something I think you should 100% do. And that's just my opinion on that. That's my thoughts on, again, what's your thoughts on signing for the platform, how much you should sign for. For those of you guys who are wondering who my number is, I technically fall in the I just made partner club personally with my current viewership. That being said, I do a lot more off of Twitch, so my asking price would probably be somewhere closer to the $60,000 a year range, or probably like the 6K a month, the 6 to 8K a month area, just because of the amount of things I do off platform that I think are very valuable both to Twitch and beyond. But again, that's my thoughts. That's how much I feel like you should ask for. If you're unsure about this or still want to ask me some more questions or have me break it down for you a little bit more based specifically on you and how much you should ask for, you're more than welcome to come by my stream. I stream just about every day on Twitch TV. You can find a link to that in the description down below. But either way, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, my name's Shinobazu, your gaming ninja, and I'll catch you guys later, all right? Deuces.